Start because there were questions about the away form coming into this game, and you've answered it with Arsenal's biggest ever away win. Well, it equals the biggest ever away win in Champions League / European Cup history. What's your response to that?
Very happy, obviously. It's a big result against a big opponent. I think they haven't lost a game here in 18 months, and we wanted to make that a statement. You know, I felt really good energy, really good belief before the match. You have to put it into practice. I think the first half was exceptional. It gave us the platform to win the game, and a really positive and important win for us.
As you said, dominant in that first half. Were you actually surprised by how much space that you had?
Well, you have to create that space. You have to earn it, and normally they don't give you that space. But I think we're really clever, really intelligent, really efficient the way we attack them, and that's the way we put our advantage forward.
Look, it's probably normal away from home in a Champions League game. At some point, you're going to come under pressure. You conceded, but were you pleased with how you dealt with that? And does that show growth?
Yeah, because you could sense that the atmosphere was changing. The last thing that you want to do is concede in the first minute, give them any belief. We didn't manage to do that. But after, I think we showed a lot of personality to bring the game down, to start to have the ball again when we have to defend deeper, and then manage to score the fourth goal. And I think that's when the game changed again.
And it looked like your players were having fun at the end out there. I mean, Martinelli off the mark in the Champions League in terms of goals this season. Big Gabby, his first ever Champions League goal.
Well, you have to enjoy. You know, when you come and play in this competition against these kind of teams, you have to enjoy it. And what I loved about the team is how we flowed, how they play with that purpose to make things happen, and really pleased.
Is it a relief, or maybe it's not a relief because you know your squad, that you could back up that Forest game now? This is 2 games in a row where you've been really on it.
And that's what we need. You need the consistency. You want to be challenging for big things. You have to be so consistent and win again. Today was a very different game, but we adapted really well, and let's move on now.
Mikel, thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Really a nice interview there with Mikel Arteta, actually. He used some interesting phrases talking about how efficient they were, how he loves it when his players play with purpose. And this is something that, you know, this obviously has to come from the top, but they've been through a really sticky period. So to be able to put back-to-back wins and back-to-back big wins together really is that statement that they were looking for.
Yeah, and we always say the key word is momentum, and you've got to create that through winning games consistently. And like Martin said at the top of the show, there's been suspensions, injuries to key players, and that's kind of destabilised the squad. Now these guys are back, you're seeing a true reflection of what the quality they have in this squad, and these players, and what they can produce. Now they have to produce on a consistent basis over a good period of time to get themselves back into the title race. But that first 45, if you're analysing that in isolation, that's the best I've seen Arsenal for a long time. That first 45 minutes. They were great in all areas, defensively, controlling without and with the ball, and then capitalising and being decisive with goals at key moments. And you could see Mikel Arteta there, he was shining the pearly whites there, giving us a good glimpse.
We don't see them that often, do we?
We don't see them often, so it was nice to see that he seemed quite happy and proud of his team.
Yeah. He's rightfully proud of his team, and he also then is at great pains to say, look, let's move on. Let's go to the next game.
The thing is, though, as a professional footballer at the highest level, you don't really get to enjoy moments like that for a long time. By the time them guys have had a shower, had their bits of food and nutrition and the drinks that you get on the coach journey, and you get to the airport and you get on that plane, but by the time you're on the plane and you're settled and you take off, and then definitely by the time you land, you're thinking about the next game.
Sad, isn't it, really?
It's sad, you know, but that's the life of a footballer. Yeah. The ones that hang on to results and performances like this for longer than that type of period, for too long, and then one day you lose focus and you probably don't have your eyes on the next prize.
You've got to keep wanting more. And you've got to keep striving for perfection. And until that trophy or something's in the cabinet, you know, and even when it doesn't change you. You just still want more again, to deny other people from doing it, or to motivate a group, and always welcoming other people to the club, and you want them to experience in it. This group hasn't really had any success, but it still keeps coming back, and they're on the edge of it. Yeah. Let's see what can happen, because Man City now, we saw that they drew again tonight. Is the stranglehold from City starting to disappear? I pretty well think they'll come back. To be honest, we keep saying it. Liverpool now setting their benchmark, but the English team's now doing really well again in the Premier League.
And it's crazy, because we thought if City do slip up, the first team that came to mind was Arsenal going to be there. And it doesn't look like that at the moment. No. It could change, but Liverpool are now the team in the driver's seat once City have slipped up. And for a team like Arsenal, who have been there waiting, that's a test of character as well. Can you now dust yourself down and go again and have that relentless kind of approach? So we'll see what they're made of now over this course of this next part of the season.
And this is it, because Arsenal have been accused of sort of having this sort of mental fragility in recent seasons, but now they're in their second term in the Champions League as well, with big results like that. They did well last season to get as far as they did into the knockout rounds, and then this season it's all about that next platform and building, not just on the pitch but mentally as well.
Yeah, and they've regathered themselves. It's, you know, do you crumble, you know, when things don't go your way, or does that make you into a better man, a better personality, and a better character? And we're seeing the character tonight. They managed this game here tonight beautifully, and every single one of them stood up on the night.